Here we go. Welcome, Blue Believers, to another episode of the Stamford Sync, where we are syncing up with everything Chelsea FC. And we've got the here we go. Mr. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Jamie Gittens will in fact be signing for Chelsea. So it turned out that eventually was imminently. Oh, I'm glad this one's just over, to be honest. It's been rather protracted, hasn't it? Obviously, it's not even just since the transfer window opened we've been talking about this. This is dating way back throughout last season since we've been talking about this kid. But finally, it's happened. But the news reports that supposedly Jamie Gittens is going to have his medical tonight in America. That makes sense because Dortmund and Chelsea are both taking part in the Club World Cup, so all parties involved will be present, and it's just a clean way to do it, isn't it? So we've got it, but what can we expect from the young, tricky winger? Well, the numbers aren't exactly unparalleled. Jamie Gittens contributed 12 goals and 5 assists in 48 games for Borussia Dortmund last season. But that's still more than Noni Madueke, and I still think more than Pedro Neto, albeit in a slightly less competitive league. But yeah, it's just a positive thing, isn't it? After all of the noise about Mykhailo Mudryk and, Jadon Sancho obviously not living up to what we expected of him, and him going back to Man United, and just being threadbare to the point that we're having to play Noni Madueke out there. Although I do maintain he's starting to look like he's finding his feet, and he's probably going to maintain that through the rest of the Club World Cup as long as we stay in it. But it's nice, isn't it? A guy to hopefully lock that position down. I was a massive advocate of Nico Williams because I love the look of him, but I was never really a big fan of the likes of Rodrigo and some of the other names that we've been throwing around. So yes, Jamie Gittens will be a Chelsea player. So it seems to be a 7-year deal. The amount is worth around 55 to 60 mil. I've seen conflicting reports. So it looks like we're going to pay in excess of 10 to 12 million pounds per year for his signature. So it's been a long, weird story for Jamie Gittens. He was at one point on Chelsea's books in our academy when he was really young, and then moved to Man City's academy. So it's a strange one, isn't it? Because we love Man City academy players. We are absolutely stocking our team full of them. And what do you say? I guess he's probably more of a Man City academy player, right? But he moved to Germany in 2020. He's been slowly and steadily climbing his way up and finds himself back at the bridge. Oh, I'm just glad we've got it over the line. And it'll be interesting now, right? Because this makes room for another transfer story to start taking the space of this one. Do you know what I mean? It's been so much talk every single day for like the last 2 weeks. Imminent. Jamie Gittens is imminently moving to Chelsea, to the point where it's like, obviously as a YouTuber that's like wants to make videos about Chelsea news and stuff, how often can you stretch the fact that Jamie Gittens is moving to Chelsea imminently into 3 to 5 minutes worth of content? So before we get too excited, I'll temper it a little bit. The medical still needs to be done. The deal still needs to be signed. We haven't seen him in a shirt yet. It's not over the line, but it has reached the stages where, barring anything mental, it's probably going to happen. Now, this one has felt odds on for a little while, mostly due to the fact that Gittens had agreed personal terms with Chelsea back at the start of June, before the Club World Cup. We had that 10-day window, didn't we? And it was in that window that Gittens had already agreed his deal. So obviously there was a little bit of talk about Bayern Munich coming in for him, and obviously Bayern Munich has spent a lot of time poaching young players from Dortmund. It wasn't crazy to think that was a possibility, but fortunately he has stayed true to his word. He has agreed the deal, and he's going to sign for us. I still think it's a lot of money. I thought 42 million was quite a lot of money. But as I mentioned in a previous video, Borussia Dortmund are not exactly known for letting people go on the cheap, are they? Whether they compete for titles every year or not, you cannot argue with the fact that Borussia Dortmund are one of the best operators in football in terms of buying and selling players in the world, bar none. Maybe not bar none, but they're really up there, aren't they? So I just checked another report, and just for the numbers thing, right? I said 12 goals in 48 appearances. So I've just seen another one that says 12 goals in 72 appearances in the Bundesliga. So that last season, I was reading the Sky Sports thing that said he scored 12 goals last season. I actually think that was the season before, because that was when he did really well. And if I remember rightly, since Niko Kovac come in, he's not really been firing on all cylinders. But at the end of the day, if he was, and he had another 12 goals under his belt, then we'd probably be looking at 80 to 90 million for him. So that's probably actually a good thing. You would have thought that there is 100% a player in there that can be coached into the right way if he didn't fit Niko Kovac's system and the way he wanted him to play. But really not so long ago was really kind of piling him away for a different manager in a different system. You would have thought Maresca has looked at this guy and been like, yep, get him for me. I can get him to do that kind of same thing again. And at the end of the day, it's a lot more of a safe bet than something like Mykhailo Mudryk was when we paid 69 million for him And obviously he did nothing but flatter to deceive in a Chelsea shirt. There will be a lot of pressure on young Gittens because that spot really needs someone in there that can get the job done. We've looked at a fairly threadbare left wing for a really, really long time now. And I don't like us, I've mentioned this before as well. He doesn't need to come in and be Eden Hazard. The idea is not to put all of this pressure on one player to make everything happen. It is to create a team of people who can spread the load. Interestingly, that's what Arsenal have done, right? Like outside of Bukayo Saka, no one really scores like 20 goals or whatever. They've kind of everyone chips in 5, 10, 12, 15 goals or whatever. No, not 15, that's quite a lot. But Arsenal have got players chipping in goals from all across the team, and that's what sees them do so well. I imagine that we're doing something similar, but we would like to funnel that through at least 1 or 2 players who can get those really good numbers, i.e. Cole Palmer or hopefully Liam Delap. So yeah, we're just the Man City Academy team now, aren't we? It's Lavia, Palmer, Liam Delap, and now obviously Jamie Gittens. It's, there's definitely a running theme going on there. It's one of those, isn't it? I know one of our technical director guys, Joe Shields, isn't it? Joe Shields, one of the technical directors, Mr. Joe Shields. He is the one that is getting all of these City youngsters. And is he a genius because they're all working out really well? Or is it just a bit of like with Erik ten Hag, when he just bought loads of his old players from the Netherlands and it didn't really work out? Is it just the same kind of thing except they just happen to be working out? Is Joe Shields a genius? Or is he just buying all of the players that used to be at the Man City Academy team? Let me know in the comments what you think about that. It's a really interesting debate I'd be up for having. I know Joe Shields is supposedly part of the Avengers, but at the same time, do you know what I mean? It's hard to get really psyched about someone's ability when so far the majority of their input has been, oh, I've helped discover that guy at Man City, you should bring him here. Oh, I helped discover that guy at Man City, you should bring him here. It's like, all right, mate, let's get someone from somewhere else and watch him do really well, and then we'll talk about how good you are. No, but I jest. I'm sure Joe Shields is absolutely brilliant, and he must have seemed qualified for the job in the first place, outside of just knowing a bit about the Man City kids. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have got that job at Chelsea in the first place. Oh, it's so confusing being a Chelsea fan, isn't it? You are extremely happy that we've got the likes of Liam Delap in and he's looking really good, and there's Enzo Fernandez who looks like he's maturing into a really, really good player, and we've got our absolute stalwarts arriving like Moises Caicedo and Cucurella, who are really consistent. But there's so many holes and questions, isn't there? There's still so many holes and questions, and because the profile of player we are looking for is young, there's so much more of a gamble because very few of the players that we are ever going to buy are going to have a massive Premier League sample size for us to look at them and go, yeah, cool, I feel confident about that because I've seen you do it. The closest you'd actually get in our team at the moment is Liam Delap. Liam Delap had 1 season in the Prem and scored 12 goals for a relegated Ipswich side, and that is the closest I personally have felt to being like, he's got some Prem experience, oh, okay. So yeah, it's just never going to be like that again, is it? Almost all of the players that we're going to buy are going to be a gamble. I've got a video coming out in a couple of days about Bluco and Strasbourg and the whole system and how that's working, so keep it locked to the channel for that one, because if you're interested in that side of things, I think you really like it. But yeah, rejoice, we have a left winger. He's a real left winger with a real right foot, and we get to hope and pray that he's going to be good without anything much of a sample size all over again. So I'm going to keep this one really short. I've literally just seen the news. I'm literally sat waiting for the Benfica game to start at the moment. But yeah, it's mad, isn't it? This is the nature of football, and combined with the nature of being a content creator, you're always on. I was just sat here chilling, waiting for the game, and then one of my favourite YouTubers pops up going, we've signed Jamie Gittens, and I was just like, what? I didn't see that. So now I get the microphone out and turn the camera on and get this ring light on that I'm melting underneath, man. I'm absolutely melting underneath this ring light, but that is what you've got to do to get this stuff out. And if any of my subscribers watch this, I hope you appreciate it. So speaking of which, if you enjoy the content and would like to see more, please do me the distinct honour of liking, sharing and subscribing to my channel. Every single click that you guys do makes a difference. I am at the very beginning of a long race to 1,000 subs so I can get this channel monetized, get the Stamford Sync out to the world, and be able to bring this content to you guys at a higher quality and faster pace as much as possible. As ever, I will do my very best to keep my ear to the ground for any more Chelsea news that might appear and try and find myself in the furious race to be the first one to tell you about it, but that's probably not going to happen until I've got a few more subscribers, right? Either way, nice one, guys. Thanks for sticking around for the video. I hope you guys have a wicked day, and I will catch up with you very soon. First things first, let's go and beat Benfica. Nice one, guys. Take it easy. Peace.